came to the US in 1978 when I was 4. So obviously everything was brand new to me, being this refugee from a war-torn country. And so art for me was always just this like playtime. It was fun time. It was a period of time for me where I didn't really necessarily have to understand what the teacher was teaching me, it was free time.
I didn't necessarily like art class in school. I thought I was going to get it wrong. And so when I teach the kids, I always try to keep them aware that their project is not going to look like my project, that their project is not going to look like their neighbor's project, that there's no right or wrong answer, that they're just practicing, that they're not making a masterpiece.
When I think back on my childhood, there was a random art project here or there, but it was really not part of my education. There were no art classes offered at the middle school or high school where I went. And as I've looked back on my career and my education, I'm 40 now, and I look back and I go, what would my life have been like if there was more art encouragement as a child? I feel like part of my soul was missing because there were some things that I wanted to create but never really had the education or empowerment to feel like I could do that. I thought only artists could do that, not just normal people like me.
I always loved to draw, but I didn't really realize I could draw until 7th grade when I made a poster for the school and I just drew it. I thought, oh wow, maybe I can draw. And so I was kind of late in, I guess, developing that. But I have realized how much a part of me it is and how it centers me.
As a kid, I was really my mom was into crafting and got me involved with her projects. In high school, I really liked my ceramics classes. I took that for 2 periods my senior year. I was really interested in the arts, but I was kind of generally discouraged from pursuing any type of creative career. So when I first went to college, I was a science major, biotechnology, and that was really fun. To a point. I got good enough grades to keep going at it, but I had started making some art and selling it as a hobby and successful at it, so I decided I'd switch my major and really pursue the arts full time.
As I was growing up, our parents exposed us to some visual arts and music outside of the classroom. And as an adult, a young adult, I had a lot of nephews and nieces. So I would sponsor to keep them busy over the summer, to give them prizes if they produced artwork. So it became a family tradition.
I'd rather be a pair of scissors, because when you're scissors, you can cut through anything and make it in any shape or size you want it to be.
I'd say circle because every now and then I get attached to something, but then I roll away to something else.
Art makes me happy because it's a piece of paper and a pencil. That's usually what it is for me. And you just express your feelings into that piece of paper, and what comes out of it could be frustration or annoyance, or it could be a different emotion like joy or pleasure.
I think their superpower would be to give inspiration to all.
Probably to have the biggest imagination in the world.
Well, it depends on what you're doing. If you're trying to draw something, like drawing every little detail, it could make you more observant. If you were drawing something that wasn't real, you could think more outside the box, and that would make you smarter too.
It makes you smarter because you can think and imagine and express yourself in a different way that you wouldn't be able to otherwise.
I say it does make you smarter because I just feel like it's important to learn even the smallest things in life.
because they need to express themselves. If someone doesn't speak up, then they can do it in a different way, but if they don't know how to, they just don't speak at all.
Because then they get to be artists, and without artists there wouldn't be very much color.
Creativity is actually a component needed for success. Sometimes measuring your IQ through tests isn't very helpful, but it does create creativity, like drawing on the test paper, something I do, and that's something you need to be successful.
I think it can just be a real inspiration in their life to get them into a good college of art, and it can just really inspire them.
What I love about teaching art, especially to children, even adults, that they can find a confidence to use their own creativity. Often kids say, is this okay? Can I put this here? And they're taught to stay within so tight of bonds that they forget that you can be free when it comes to creativity, and everyone's a creator, whether it's technical things, whether it's paint or building or doodling. Everyone's a creator, no matter if you think you are or not. So I think it's fun to teach children that.
Looking back at my history and kind of having adults say, yeah, an artist is never going to make it, and maybe you shouldn't pursue a career. Kind of breaking that mythology of an artist, a struggling artist, and encouraging kids to be creative. I can really see it the most when I see the room go completely silent. Everybody's just engrossed in their project, engrossed in the details. And so, yeah, when you see that many people focusing that intently on their project, it's inspiring in a way.
Doing the right thing at the moment and not being afraid of giving the wrong answer, and that frees you up to do something different that is maybe not expected by somebody else and might advance everybody else's ideas. I think that humans work really well in collaboration, where one idea will build upon another.
There's something that we each have that's individual and unique that we can share with the world. And I love to light that up in children and see them realize that it's there inside them. I love it when the children, they see me coming. I'm not even in the room yet, but they can see me through the window, and it just spreads like a ripple. Oh, she's here. And they're so excited that it's art day. I love that even the children who feel like they don't have a ton to contribute in school, right? The kids who you can tell are struggling. They're having trouble at home. They're having trouble with their grades. They're having trouble in a lot of different ways. When I walk into that room, I can help them come alive and let all those worries go for just 1 hour.
You know, my students have special needs, but they have special abilities that need to be enhanced. And I can't give them the same type of project all the time. So releasing that creativity is getting into some new types of projects, using new media, learning about new artists that they have not been exposed to. They're always looking forward to art in the classroom. So that's enough satisfaction for me to come back.
Being in front of the classroom is a big step out of my comfort zone. And so, there are days when I'm just like, okay, I know I'm making a difference. But I happen to have a friend who is a kindergarten teacher in the Kent School District, and she posted this one day, and it really, really inspired me to keep at what I'm doing. So she had said, for those people who have helped young children do an art project and wondered who even cares, this is for you. This was done 20 years ago by my son. It's been hanging all these years for daily viewing. The things we keep around the house weren't the test scores or worksheets. We kept the kids' artwork. The kids kept their artwork, sometimes for years in their room. So it's a good reminder to your teacher self. And this really spoke to me that day as I was struggling to get out there, out of my comfort zone, and to realize that I'm doing this for working parents who may not have the time to do art with their kids. And for them to be able to bring home this portfolio of the work they've done all year and perhaps hang it up for the next 20 years is a great feeling.